Yay!
Hello, everybody. It is wonderful to be in y'all's presence. Welcome to Vulnerability Time. I am your host and published author, Trenton Epizon Rupker. This podcast, it's all about being vulnerable. You know why? Because, a seed, the only way for a seed to grow, the ground has to be vulnerable. If you plant a seed and put cement over it, it's probably not going to grow. Being quote unquote strong and tough and not vulnerable. That's not necessarily how humans grow. Well, that's not how the brain can truly learn and how the body can truly heal. You have to feel to heal, and obviously, with the soil, it has minerals and all, the things that a seed needs to thrive and grow. It has that within it. However, it also is vulnerable for, the things that it needs to come into the soil, like water, that is needed. When it rains, it's able to go down in that soil and touch the seed and help it grow. So I want y'all to just, hey, it's okay. Vulnerability is scary. When a seed is underground, it's dark. But it doesn't always stay there. Sometimes it takes that vulnerable ground for that seed to get out of that dark. So I like using that analogy to remind myself, be vulnerable. Obviously, there's a time and a place, like you can't just trust everyone. That's not what I mean. But there are areas and times and places where, it's an opportunity to be vulnerable. And take your time. Vulnerability does not have to happen overnight. It can be 5 years from now. It can be 10 years from now. Just know that, I guess the theme is, you're not weak for being vulnerable. You are so strong for it. Because it takes a lot of strength to be honest, to say how you're truly feeling. It's scary. People judge, but people can also accept and love you regardless. So with that being said, let's get started on, this will be a short episode. It's just the commentary of episode 5. The main topics were rock bottom, navigating relationships, viewing yourself, and pressure of online dating. Let's start just start with dating in general. It's really hard when like for me personally, I'll just speak from my experience. I have really I don't want to say high expectations, but I like a good gentleman. I'm learning myself. I'm learning what I like and don't like in an individual, romantically. However, for me, I'm not necessarily like a hookup culture type of person. Like, I genuinely want to know someone, and at least for me, I found that, my faith, patience, honesty, understanding, loyalty are something that I need in a relationship. And that's also something I'm recognizing, I'm going to give that too. I hope and I will strive to give that too. Now, it doesn't saying someone has to be perfect. No. Not at all. And, I've realized screw that. I don't want my better half. I want my better whole. I want a whole individual. And for me, the whole better half analogy, that's just, I guess, y'all, I used to be the type of person where I would have to fix someone, or I would have to work for their love or work for their attention. That's just how, like with my father, with my family. Um, I had to work. I had to perform to feel loved, to feel loved. So I had to get good grades. And of course that has some, like it kept me on the track of having great grades to pass, and a lot of opportunities opened up because of my GPA. However, what about when I make a bad grade on a test? No one's proud of me and I beat myself up. And that's the scary thing. I'm not saying all parents mean to do this. However, be very be very careful of when you just tell a child that you're proud of them when they do something good. That is creating a workaholic. That is creating someone that could potentially create someone, give them the outline of their life of, you have to work. You're not as valuable unless you do something. But it's like when you're a parent talking to your child, you should just be proud of your child for just being here on this earth, for just being your child. Yes, congratulate them on the ups. However, notice them on the failures as well. And failures are precursors to success. Failures is just success in a different way. Failure, it's perception. It's perception. You don't have to get anything right on the first time. Ever. You don't. It's really hard to learn if you get it quote unquote right the first time. There's a lot of things that come with time. So going back to the dating thing, for a long time, I've only had one boyfriend in my life. I've never dated anyone else. Because it's like, a lot of men, I'm gay and I wish I could choose to not be gay, because trust me, men sometimes, y'all, I'm just like, if only I could choose not to like men, if only I could choose to like women, trust me, I would have been done so a long time ago. But I used to be a person that, worked, I had to perform for someone's love, and especially in a romantic relationship, and I had to quote unquote fix them, be a fixer-upper. I don't have time to do that anymore. I'm glad I've learned and grown, that over time that, I don't need to do that. I am deserving of love as I am, and of course, the great qualities will follow after. But what if those great, what if there's a bad day? What if I'm depressed? What if I feel like I failed? I wish I was taught, and I'm not saying my parents are bad parents for this, I don't think it's something that they recognize. Now, my parents weren't the best parents, okay? I would just say that. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that right there, especially my father, okay? All about money, and he's very physically abusive, and they like to throw, oh, well, we gave you a nice house, neighborhood. Look, great, however, there is more to having a child than just putting roof over their head and food on their table. That's a whole human being. You don't just have a child, put a roof over their head and neglect them. That's not how that works. Anyways, so what I'm saying, y'all, is a lot of things, we learn a lot from our parents and from our environments when we were little of what love is, or what it isn't, or what we think love is. And so we can allow others to treat us as such because it's okay, it's quote unquote okay to us. We don't know no better. Don't beat yourself up if you're only attracted to toxic people. Do not beat yourself up. This is not something that started with you. This started to you. We gotta get to a point where this is not your fault, folks. Though you may carry it, this started from somewhere. Yes, there's a difference between accountability and also holding, your past accountable, that, this started somewhere. There's a difference between just blaming others or just, maybe you're just holding people accountable and you just need someone to recognize it with you that you're not blaming others. Maybe you're just holding it accountable. I hear you. Let's start there. Maybe you're just holding them accountable. And this can apply to a multitude of things. But so dating has always been hard for me. And sometimes I'm thinking like I've had guys tell me I'm too good for them. And you would think that would be a compliment, but it got to the point where I'm like, well, I wish I was trash. I wish I was trash because, you know, I love myself now, y'all. However, self-love is not the answer to everything. We are primal communal creatures. Yes, you can love yourself to death. However, there's definitely a difference, when someone else loves you. There's nothing wrong with wanting someone else to love you. We are humans. That's how we grew. That's how we came so far on this earth. Love. Whether you mean that in a Christian way or whatever faith or not faith. It's just in general. People love. Though we hate, we can also heal. We can also love. There's nothing wrong with wanting love. And just because you want love doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. It means you're freaking human. There's a difference. And I know, a lot of times it can get, confusing that, oh, well, if you want someone, then you have to, well, it's probably because you don't love yourself. That's not how that works. That is not how that works. This modern age concept of what love should be or how love should be handled or, no. We need to, it's very tricky. We got to discern it. And, for those of us who don't love ourselves, I have a question for us. Were we taught that? Were we taught to hate ourselves? And if so, why can't someone teach us how to love ourselves? Why do we have to do everything on our own? If it was a multitude of people that taught us to hate ourselves, it does not have to be just us learning to love ourselves. Unfortunately, that can be the case sometimes because sometimes the environments that we're in, we just kind of have no choice but to do it on our own. But it does not need to be us having to fix what too many voices have told us is wrong with us. It is okay, just like it is overlooked that people teach us how to hate ourselves. It's always stigmatized and taboo of someone teaching us how to love ourselves. It's okay. Hashtag parents supposed to teach us how to love. Teach us how to love ourselves. But it's like, oh, when we're older and we didn't receive that as a child. Y'all, we are grown-up children. Okay? Look, now society may define us, as adult. Look, we were once children, okay? And we just grow up and we grow up and we grow up. And we didn't get everything as children that we needed. There's a lot of research I can get into on that. However, I don't really want to get into research on this podcast because this is vulnerability time. I mean, look, like this, I encourage you to go research on how the human body and the human mind and how, we survived in the hunter-gatherer days and the caveman days. You'll find a lot of these cravings and wants and needs. We need people to love us. You'll find that this is normal. And in hitting rock bottom, let's, go there. Because, rock bottom can definitely come from, the ends of relationships. The ending of it. Now, I'm not going to speak too much on this because I want to make this episode short and quick. Why? Because I'm recording this at 1:06 a.m. and I'm hungry, I'm sleepy. However, y'all are important. Y'all are valuable. Y'all are worth it. Y'all are deserving of this sacrifice of I can put off a couple minutes of sleep and a couple minutes of eating. Because guess what? It's not about me. This podcast is not my podcast. It's our podcast, folks. If you're listening to it right now, this is our podcast. This is you and me. You and me. This is our podcast. I just created the platform, y'all. But if you're listening to this is me and your podcast. Okay? this is more about y'all than it is about me. Like, it's like, what, 5% about me, 95% about y'all. Y'all are important. Y'all are important. But anyways, I like to use the analogy of, is the glass half empty or half full? It's both. How can you tell that a glass is half full? By acknowledging that it's half empty. How can you tell that a glass is half empty? By acknowledging that it's half full. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a glass half. There's obviously that it's not whole. You know what I mean? So acknowledging what's truly within the glass, it's both half empty and half full. The body, literally research this. The brain and the body, how it heals, how it can heal is it has to feel to heal. You have to feel. You have to feel. In order to truly heal, you have to. Don't just sweep it under the rug and not feel, y'all. I'm telling you, look how the mind works. It will come back up. You don't want it to come back up when you're 60. You don't want it to come back up at that age. No. So this is what I did. Okay. So I let myself grieve the loss of a relationship, and it can go friendships as well. I gave myself the space and the time to grieve and to be just hate and to just be upset and to just purge all that anger out. Like I wrote it out on a sheet of paper, and I did that for about 2 weeks, but then I started, slowly acknowledging some of the good as well. Like, okay, this situation sucks. I hate this. This is not okay. Get hit by a bus. Kill him, Jesus, kill him. No, I'm just kidding, but I'm not kidding. But, and then I'm like, well, I did smile once in this, and though I've smiled multiple times within the friendships and relationships, you gotta slowly start, acknowledging the full truth. However, you have to acknowledge the pain in order to get to the purpose. Don't rush your process, folks. Feel. You have to feel. Don't quote unquote get over it. That's the thing. That's a very unhealthy statement. Get over it. No. Grow through it. Grow from it. That's the statement we need to hear. Not get over it. Because that's invalidating your hurt. That is invalidating every second of that relationship, the good, the bad, the in between, the ugly, the nasty, the excellent, the great. There's so much to a situation, and it just needs to be acknowledged in order to grow for it, folks. And that's just how, at least for me, that's how I found out. That's how I healed. Is, though I mentioned the bad, oh yes. However, I also mentioned the full truth. I'm like, well, once upon a time, this person was exactly what I needed. Exactly what I needed. And so that rock bottom, y'all, a helpful tool is to, and take your time with it. It's okay to have your season of dwelling in it. Acknowledge it. Hold those moments accountable. However, as you do that, slowly start mentioning some good things as well as the bad things. And then you'll eventually get to a place where you're acknowledging the pain and the purpose. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, it sucks. Oh my gosh, I hate hurting. I hate feeling. I hate it so much when you love someone, when you give your heart, when you're vulnerable to them. And whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, it can get ripped. And how many of us have done that as well to other people? It don't feel good. However, once upon a time, those people made us laugh. They were what we needed. So y'all, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to get over things that are so fresh right then and there. Grow through it. Acknowledge the pain. Then we can focus on the purpose, but that pain needs to be acknowledged at first. Okay, don't let yourself stay there too long now. You're gonna have to fight a little bit, to start acknowledging the truth. So don't stay there too long. I just know, like, for me, I give myself, it depends on the situation. Sometimes I give myself a couple days to just be completely quote unquote negative, but it's not really negative. It's just honest, and I'm just purging what I feel and what I think. And when we're in irrational moments, of course, we're not going to think rational. I'm going to generalize. I'm like, oh, they're a horrible person, even though I know damn well they're not a horrible person. But, it's healthy, y'all, to be honest with yourself. Don't always come at situations that, when you're going through it by yourself, don't always come at it perfect. It's not a perfect situation. Be imperfect in that moment. That's how you will grow. You know why? Because it's real. It's honest. Honesty equals healing. I'm telling you. So anyways, see, I'm not going to talk much longer because this podcast, Navigating Relationships, I guess I kind of touched in on that, I don't, honestly, y'all, I don't think I have much to say on that, at least right now. And then the viewing yourself. Y'all, don't beat yourself up if you don't love yourself right now. Don't beat yourself up for that. It's a process. It's an upward spiral. And look, give yourself some grace. Society, people, family, social media, though a lot of good can come from it. However, it's very easy for those outlets and those aspects to teach us how to hate ourselves. So let me tell y'all something. This is not your fault. It's not your fault if you don't love yourself. It's not your fault. Though, their growth can happen and change can happen. But I want y'all to start at a point where this is not your fault. Because it's victim blaming in a way. If I say, well, like if I say, well, you just gotta love yourself, or you're clearly not loving yourself. No, there's so much more backstory. Like how I learned, and I'm throwing myself under the bus. Though I meant well. Oh, you're just not loving yourself. Though I meant well, I didn't realize I was unintentionally harming that person. And how many of us are getting unintentionally harmed and we just don't really recognize it like that? This is what I learned. When we see an individual, we are walking in to just one sentence of their life. We're not seeing, chapter 1, which is, year 1 of their life. We're not seeing chapter 1, sentence 1. Chapter 1, sentence 2. We're not seeing the 23 years of their life from baby to now. We're just seeing the now and the little bit of now that they do give us. So have grace on yourselves, folks. It's okay to be where you're at right now, and there is room for growth. There is room for growth. But I need you to start at a point. Well, let's just try to start at a point where we take the shame and the blame off of us. It was not your fault. It's not your fault. Okay? Have grace on yourself. It's okay to get to that point where you're like, you know what? This is not my fault. For example, I love myself now. And though things aren't perfect, it's not perfect. No. But back then, I can genuinely say I didn't love myself. And of course I was taught not to love myself. Of course. I was told, because I was gay, I was always called a faggot. I was told that my mom should have aborted me. I was told to kill myself. I was told to hang myself. I was told myself to get a gun and, just end it. I was shown I was physically abused because, I was shown and taught I was physically abused. I was sexually abused. I was beaten so hard, so much. I was sexually abused so much, y'all. Those things also teach you how to hate yourselves. I was told that I was a mistake to have as a child. That my father wishes I was never born. Now, he won't say that to my brother because he loves my brother. But, y'all, I was taught to hate myself. And, when I finally realized, you know what? I carried this self-hate. I carried it for so long. And then I got to a point I was like, wait. Yes, I'm carrying it now. Yes, it's with me now, but it didn't start with me. It started to me. And from then I was able to heal. Y'all, I've been through so much abuse, neglect. My father, he tried to starve me, and he beat the crap out of me because I begged him to make me some food. Now he'll make my brother food in a second. And he would just randomly slap me. Oh gosh, y'all, I'm glad he's out of my life. But if you're out there listening and there is some abuse that taught you that you are not valuable, I need you to know, I'm about to cry. I need you to know that your name is not victim, it is Victor. I need you to know that. You are so worth more than you think. You are so lovable. You are so valuable. And I need you to know that. Okay? I need you to know that. Don't, like, this mental illness that you struggle with, the comparison, the struggle to love yourself. You are so valuable. Those things do not define you. It just impacts our feelings and how we see. But y'all, God, you are so important. And whoever is listening, I'm so thankful and grateful that you are born and that you're still breathing on this earth, even if or when you wanted to give up. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for still being here. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, because I know it's hard. I know it's hard, y'all. My rock bottom, I've had suicide attempts. One time I actually committed suicide and I was brought back to life, y'all. So I'm here to tell you, I'm so proud of you. And with that, I will leave it on that note of you are valuable. Your name is not victim. Your name is Victor. I don't see abused. I see awesomeness in you. Okay? I don't see lack. I see growth. I see just areas of growth. You know what I mean? Just the amount, the people that are gonna come in your life and love you back together. Oh, they're coming. I'm telling you, they're coming, y'all. That's what she said. That's what he said. I'm a mess. But alrighty, y'all. I'll see y'all next week, okay? I'm giving y'all hugs. Now I'm about to go to sleep and I'm about to eat. I'm about to eat me a good burger and we're gonna do that, and then I'm going to I might eat me 2 burgers and then I'm gonna go my behind to sleep. I need to gain some weight anyway. But already, y'all, I love you all and I truly mean that. Because I've just been through too much to not care for people like I do, and though I wish I don't. But anyways, you know what? Anyways, let me be quiet. I'll see y'all next week, and you're awesome and you're amazing, and I need you to know that is not cliche, and fuck anyone who says otherwise. Fuck them. Okay. Bye, everyone.